Greetings everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the Weekly Challenges Guide. Now for those of you who may be new to this series or need a bit of a refresher, the Weekly Challenges are a set of 5 events that go live Thursday night, Friday morning, depending on your region. These consist of 4 races that are already in the game that, depending on your progress, you may need to unlock. While the 5th, called the special event, takes form of a race, a time trial challenge, a mission challenge, whichever comes up. So, let's see what this week has on offer for us. So we kick things off with the Japanese FR Challenge 450, 2-lap race at high-speed ring reverse, and requires a road car from Japan with an FR drivetrain, simple as that. So for this one, I'm just going to get with the first thing that comes to mind here, and that is this UR86 Cup build that I have here already. It's a pretty easy race anyway, so not really too difficult. In fact, you could just cheese it exactly with what I have here. So let's do a lap around here at this circuit. As you're going down the front stretch here, I'm going to go into turn 1 here. First I like to downshift to 5th there, and then just sort of right to the middle, kind of go a little higher there if necessary, then turn down, and then through 2. Again, maintain that speed, should be good enough. And we're coming up on turn 3, so you want to brake right about before the 50 mark there. I usually like to keep it in 3rd gear there. I feel like seconds are really necessary when you can keep enough momentum in this gear. So then, pick up the throttle right about here as you enter onto the bridge. And then we're heading up to 5. So you want to get on the brakes right about at the 50 mark. 3rd gear, again, carry some momentum, use a little bit of curb if you want. Right on into that green part, will be just fine. And then the final corner is just basically flat out. And I like to set myself up here and turn there if I have been making overtakes, on the banking. But for the most part, that's kind of it. Very quick lap, even on a car with not a lot of horsepower on it. But yeah, overall, that is essentially a lap around high-speed ring reverse. Some of the stuff may change a bit depending on your setup, but that's pretty much what it. Now, onto the race itself. So, best spots for overtaking depending on the performance of your car: turns 1, 2, and 6. 1 for obvious reasons there, because you got all that momentum on the outside, and 2 for the same reason, and then 6, again, momentum. Be aware of the AI though. Turns 3 through 5, all of these, the AI, they brake multiple times, they bunch up, they can hog up the line. So if you're going for a clean race bonus, that is something to take into consideration. Next, the historic Sportscar Masters. This is a 5-lap race at Goodwood Motor Circuit and requires a road car at 580 performance points or less between 1960 and 1989. Very specific period of time. For me, that just usually means 1 car just because it's just that good without any changes, and that's the Ford GT40 Mark I. It feels good, it's stock, it just feels good that way. Why would you need to modify it? So let's do a lap around here. And we kick things off right at Madgwick Corner here. I go down to 2nd gear. I tend to try to carry a lot of momentum outside to the inside there. And kind of start powering up right about here on corner exit. And most of this is pretty much on throttle. Depending on the car you choose, you may have to lift a little bit here just to make sure it turns through that corner. Flat footing it doesn't always guarantee good results. So 2nd gear through St. Mary's, and then throttle right on out. Then we're heading up to Levant Corner. I usually tend to brake right as I see that 50 board a few meters in front. 2nd gear, power right on out. And this is where we go through the Levant straight here. And if your car has good enough power, it's AI there, you can make plenty of overtakes in this section. Just be mindful of where they'll be. And of course, next we go through Woodcote, 2nd gear. I have to carry a lot of momentum in that gear. And then do the chicane, which I actually downshift to 1 because I feel the exit is actually more powerful. Flip to the right than the left. And of course, if you manage to nail that just right, and that is a lap around the Goodwood motor circuit. So now, on to the race itself. So, best overtaking spots, I think, tend to be Madgewick, Levant Corner, and Levant Straight. Some good spacing, and just enough to where you can predict where the AI will be. Beware of the AI though, however, in Fordwater, St. Mary's, and Woodcut. That's when it gets a little predictable and dicey trying to make overtakes. And also, don't really recommend trying to do it for an overtake at the chicane. Very low reward for such a high risk. Next, the lightweight K-Cup. This is a one-lap race at the Nordschleife, and of course, with comfort tires, a K-car, 100, performance points or less. And you can see some of the examples here. So I'm just going to choose one that I've kind of really wrote for. That's the Honda N1 here. As you can see, it's just stock here. As usual, no laps around there. A little too long for this video. But a few tips. FF cars perform better with TCS off, so as much as that might be a crutch of yours, it really holds these cars back. So it's best driven without them. Stick to comforts. You really need them. That's all you'll really need. And the reason I also bring that up is there's a strong chance of rain. The AI will slow drastically. You don't need to change to new tires. It's a win-win for you staying on comfort, really, because the AI will slow up. Next, the Group 1 Prototype Series. 15 laps, 6 times fuel use, and 8 times tire wear at Sardegna Road Track A. 950 performance points or less, and it features, well, Group 1 cars. Now, you don't have to use a Group 1 car, but I'm going to use one because I just want to debut this new livery I just made for the Porsche 963 there. If you watch WEC, it will probably be familiar to you. But anyway, that's what I've got, and let's do a lap around here. So here we are on the front straightaway here. And we're coming right into turn 1 heavy braking section, down to first gear, and power right on out. Give us a little flick to the right, and then to the left. And we're coming to turn 4, brake right at the 50 board, down to second gear, carry some speed through there. And as that fence comes up, down to first. I like to square up the exit here for maximum traction. And then once again, just before the 50 board, brake down to second here for turn 6. Carry that momentum out of there for acceleration. Go through 7 here and 8. It's all on power here. You can set up passes on the AI as well. Brake right about the 50 mark there for turn 9, very tight. Then accelerate right here. And through 10 through 13 here. Now 13 is going to be a bit tricky, so what I like to do is I let off about 12, downshift, and then get on the power. And that's how I make a lot of my passes and my time as well. And then brake right for that mark. For turn 14, I like to use it carefully inside to steer the car. And then full throttle, and through here, this is flat out. No matter what tire you have on, you got all the downforce in the world, it'll be fine. So all that power, just go straight, and that's a lap, and I'll start getting your road track. Now, on to the race itself. So here, racing medium, the ideal tire to start, at least for me. One stop, the main strategy, fitting on lap 9 or 10 for softs there. Now this one's going to be a little harder because it's one of those where it depends on the grid. Sometimes you'll have one where no matter what you do, you'll be far back from the leader, and other times you'll actually be in with a chance and have a massive gap. So a bit dependent on the field, if anything, but that tends to be the general view. And then the special race, it's the Yangwang U9 1-meg race. It's a 6-lapper at Fuji International Speedway, and of course featuring the Yangwang U9. So I'll take the one modified here you may have seen in the video I've done, and off to the races we go. But before I do that, my tires, and in an attempt to try to make this thing handle a little better, here's my setup. It's not the best, but it's an attempt to somehow control this thing. And let's go for a lap around here. Now, what I tend to usually do is brake right about here. Just slow this thing down for turn 1. Come right on out and onto the power. So you get through there. And right about the 50, before the 54 I should say. Down there through the Coca-Cola corner, then slowly right away. Then 100R, I tend to feather this a little bit here, just to carry some momentum and then power right on. And then brake right at the 50 mark there for turn 6, hairpin. Then carefully accelerate here. I'm very slow and deliberate on the power delivery there. And then brake right at the 100 mark there. Get that nice and early for Dunlop corner. Very wide arc into here just to make sure you get some good traction. Let's accelerate through here. Onto the brakes. And then through 13. Low power there. And again, brake. You never want to go on the power too suddenly. Otherwise, stuff like this will happen there. Thankfully, it didn't happen super catastrophic. And then, of course, down to this much here. Look at the Panasonic corner. And then we exit out. Now it's onto the front straight where, honestly, you could make many more passes there. Be much easier, depending on your skill level. But anyhow, that is a lap around Fuji Speedway. So now, let's go to the race itself. So, ideal spots for overtaking in this are the Coca-Cola corner, 100R, and a hairpin. And I say that because these, of all the corners, have the most clearest opportunity without much interference with the AI. However, Dunlop corner, Nets corner, and Panasonic corner, beware. The AI bunch up. Equip racing brakes just to get some good stopping power and brake early, because it's a very heavy, powerful car. So anyhow, that is it for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed it, whether you just logged in or I logged in quite some time. If you do guys enjoy, then click that bell, like, share, subscribe, do the usual. So that's it for me, and I will see you guys in the next video.